Hi, I'm Kendra Ruth from The Hero Spouse, here to answer another question about midlife crisis in your marriage. Today we have Marianne. Marianne's bomb drop was January of 2020. She has a boomerang and a high energy replayer. My question is it cake eating when my ex-husband contacts me and wants to share his feelings and how he's doing? Also, he never mentions his girlfriend, and he hasn't asked if I have a new relationship. I haven't seen him in almost a year now. Should I ask about his relationship? I believe he's still with her, but he still has his own place. So now a little bit of history is the first year of this. He was a clinging boomerang. And he was what I would refer to as almost an extreme clinging boomerang. During that period, the experiences that Marianne went through reminded me of what I was going through with Chuck when he was in his midlife crisis. And I wrote the clinging boomerang description with Chuck as a prototype. And then that backed off. The divorce was finalized early this year, January or February. She's almost in 2 years. So I would probably consider it cake eating had these dynamics not shifted. But the dynamics did shift, and his contact backed off. He became more of a boomerang, less frequent contact. I don't think I would describe him as distant emotionally. And that is some of the difference that we really see with boomerang versus clinging boomerang. But his contact really did drop off. And I think that in many ways, Marianne, he's been trying to give you that space. He also has found a girlfriend. This girlfriend came along enough later that we feel she may not be an alienating force. She may be more of what we would consider a legitimate relationship, not realizing that, this man was in a marriage, because it might have been after the divorce was finalized, or it was just before. She had not been a part of the back and forths and the pull that was causing this clinging boomerang status. So we look at it a little bit differently. I don't think it's cake eating. And if it is, it's not a cake eating where I think that it's something you should worry about and set a boundary against. I don't think it's an abuse. Cake eating when it's an abuse is when they're trying to have both worlds. They're trying to be in your world, be involved in your world, want you in their world, and in some ways to control you. They don't want you to move away from their world. In other words, if you did have a new relationship and he knew about it, he would have a problem with that. Either his problem would be he would become upset and angry, or he'd just be very sad. He might just be very sad. But he doesn't want that to change if he's cake eating. Full, true, extreme cake eating is, I want to live in both worlds. I want to have my wife, I want to have my girlfriend, and I want them to be as I want them. I want them available as I want them. I want them in the roles I want them. So he might not want the wife's role in the bedroom. You might fantasize about it, but some of them, no, I want a wife in the kitchen and a whore in the bedroom. And so there could be a little Madonna whore complex going on. But we're not seeing that right now. He's calling because he cares. He's calling to check in. And you said he shares his feelings with you. Well, he still has an intimate emotional connection to you, and that is a positive. It doesn't mean things are going to get better or worse. It doesn't mean he's going to someday change his mind and reconcile. Unfortunately, right now, from our perspective, he is in a relationship that might not have the level of unhealthiness that an illegitimate affair has. Now, it could, but that's not for us to look at. You just have to work on yourself and be there for him. When he contacts you, be his listening ear. Now, if it becomes too much for you to handle, like if he's leaning on you all the time, or if he's confiding in you, oh, poor me, my girlfriend's horrible, or these sort of things, and it's starting to drain you. If he's becoming a vampire, an emotional vampire, that's different. But that's not what I'm sensing right now from your description. He's sharing his feelings. The word being sharing, not dumping his feelings, not wanting you to solve his problems, not bringing his problems to you. He's sharing. I think it's right now. I think as long as you can handle it, it's a beautiful thing. He was very concerned when he was an extreme clinging boomerang about how much he was hurting you. And yet he was so attached and maybe even we can call addicted that he was having trouble pulling away. And I think that is a lot of why he has shifted his contact from boomerang to clinging boomerang. But a lot of him still has the clinging boomerang attribute of the emotional connection to you, the emotional intimacy that he feels with you, that he wants to share that with you. Right now, as long as you're standing, that's a positive. Okay? Good luck, Marianne. And thanks so much. I will see everybody